Hey guys, today I have a small grocery haul for you guys from Old Gin Creek, and I told you whenever we did the Sam's haul, if we found a great price on meats and things like that, we would be getting those things, but we found a phenomenal deal on some other things, so I'm going to show you that. And we did get a couple things just because we wanted them, but it's not real big, but I'll show you what we got. And then in this same video, we're going to show you how we're going, or what we're going to be doing to prep and store some of it. But anyway, I'm going to get the camera turned around, then I'll explain that part. Okay guys, we're going to get started right here. And this is a 2-pack of Boston butt. These were $1.59 a pound, which is cheaper than we've seen in a very long time. And this is one of the things that Jeff is going to be, or we are going to do it, some of it together, but we're going to be prepping this for the freezer. Now we are going to have some of this for our dinner tonight, but the rest of it is going to be put away in the freezer for future meals. But $1.59 a pound is a really great price for any kind of meat right now. And whenever we did go to Sam's, I wanted to get some ground beef, but all of theirs, even the normally cheapest stuff, was $5 a pound. But Old Gin Creek had theirs for $3.49 a pound, so I grabbed 4 packs of that, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to be prepping some of it as well. Alright, and these are the 2 things I got just because I wanted them. I got some more bananas and a cantaloupe. We got that cantaloupe from Old Gin Creek a little bit back, you know, weeks ago. Man, that thing was so good. It was delicious. Alright, and this was a phenomenal deal, y'all. I had not planned on buying canned vegetables anytime soon because it's always more expensive, you know. Canned vegetables are at least $1 a can most of the time, if not more, even for the store brand. Well, we found these for 2 for $1. They're in date to all the way to December of 2026, so it's not because they're close to being out of date. They just had a bunch of them and they were selling them for a great price, and I think they just wanted, they're really, I don't know, it's just an awesome store. But we got 12 cans of the French style green beans, 12 of the cut green beans, and this is also Green Giant brand, and 12 of the whole kernel sweet corn. So we got 12 of each of those because they were such a great price. So I'm going to get stuff put away, out of the way, and then I'm going to start doing the ground beef. I think Jeff is getting the smoker ready for this. And we'll kind of show you this. I don't know if we're going to show the whole process, but what we do is we season it, then he smokes it for I don't know how many hours, like 4 hours or something, and maybe more. I'm not positive, but every hour or so he sprays the meat with a mixture of apple juice and apple cider vinegar, and then once that smoking time is done, it has to reach a certain temperature on the inside. That's what he's doing. Well, once it reaches that, he wraps it with foil. It's in a pan, and he puts it back on the grill and cooks it for another certain amount of time. I don't know exactly how long. And y'all, I don't want barbecue from anywhere else. If Jeff doesn't do it, I just don't like it anymore, it doesn't seem, except one place, or maybe 2. But one of them is 45 minutes away from us, and the other one's an hour away. And I still don't think they're as good as Jeff's. But anyways, I'm going to get this stuff out of the way, and then we'll get to going with showing y'all that stuff. Okay, so I've got the butts out on this pan. You really can only see the one. And we have just done it with just butt rub and nothing else, and it's really good that way. But we got this from Tractor Supply, and it's the honey barbecue rub, and it's good too. So since we have it, we're just going to mix the 2. We have tested it with just doing this, and we've, you know, compared the flavors, and we like both flavors. And the last time we did some Boston butts, we mixed the 2 things together, and it was really good like that. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this again later, because I don't think I've seen it at Tractor Supply since. But, you know, that's just something that happens with places like that. I might can find it online or something. But anyway, actually, I need to take my rings off. Let me get my, where I just touched that and washed my hands. Alright, take my rings off and put them up in the cabinet. I'm going to keep one hand clean to hold the jars or whatever, and then one hand I'm going to be rubbing this on there. And the way I see it, the way Jeff does it, is he puts it on there and he pats it down, and then once you think you got enough, you put a little bit more. That's the way it looks to me. What do you think, Jeffrey?
Yeah, something about like that.
Something about like that. Which he's going to come over here and supervise or take over or whatever needs to be done. Help me with whatever, because he's the one normally does this. I've done it once by myself. And I don't even think I did the season. Did I do the seasoning part that time? It's been so long, I can't remember. I don't remember. And we do the fat side too. We don't try to take any of the fat off or anything. I could be doing both of them at the same time, couldn't I? I'll just do one at a time. It might be easier on me. I'm just going to show y'all this one anyways. But you put a ton of seasoning on it. It's a big chunk of meat, so you're going to need a lot of seasoning. You don't want to have it not flavorful. Right, Jeffrey? Am I doing this right, Jeffrey?
Get in there and get it.
Do what?
Get in there.
I said, am I doing it right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you understood what I said. And there's also like little spots that will be folded over. Get seasoning in there too. He's got the smoker heating up, doing what it's got to do. I'm going to have to hold it this time. It's not going to just stand by itself. Makes it a little bit harder whenever it's like that, but that's alright. Probably the same thing on this side, but that's alright. Do what you gotta do. I could have just went in with one and then flipped it around and did the other, but you know, just had one of the jars at one time. But this way I feel more confident that I'm getting, I don't forget any area, and it all tastes the same. Now, I'm going to have him come in and look at this. I don't think there's enough on that side, but I'm going to have him come in. And there's probably not enough seasoning on this. But after it sits for a minute, we can put some more, because it'll kind of soak in, I guess you could say. That's not the proper thing. But whatever. But we put a lot of the rub on. Go ahead and start this one. And we don't put any kind of wet sauce on it unless you consider the apple juice and apple cider vinegar a wet sauce, but it's not like a barbecue sauce. It's just a moisturizer, really, and it's just a flavor that you put in there. Right, Jeffrey?
Keep it moist.
Yeah, it keeps it moist. Keeps it from drying out. Makes it yummy. Because if it's dry, I don't want it. Oh goodness. This one trying to slide away. Yeah, I did that side. I haven't done this one or the other one. It's toward the wall. These are bone in too. There's a bone right there. And whenever he gets it done, that bone will just slide out. That's how tender they get. Alright. How much more do I need on here?
Keep on.
Keep on? That doesn't tell me. Go back to this one. I may let you take over because you know how to do it better than I do. I don't know. Not that I can't do it, but I don't know how much you want on it. Is my point.
Mash it in.
I'm trying. The sides is what's hard.
Might be another one.
Well, on that one. What about the edges?
Put a little one in.
Oh, it just flew out that time. It's heavy. I don't remember how much these two weighed. Do you remember?
It wouldn't look like 14 pounds. 14.
So that's about 7 pounds each or so.
I think.
Well, it was $1.59 a pound, and it was $20-something for two. And this will feed us a lot of time, especially if we make the smokehouse stew with it. The smokehouse stew is one of our favorites, and this is what makes it. I can't remember if I did this side again. It looks like I did. So is that one good enough?
Look like.
That's one of those spots that was hidden. Fold it back over.
Whatever.
That one's good. You're pretty much turning it red. Did I put this one on there? No, I don't think I did. If I didn't, I did it then. If I did, I just did it twice. This time. Oh goodness, I'm weak. Lay it on top of the other one, get that on there. I think I got all the bits of that one on the sides. We'll do this side again. the fat side. Got seasoning on my hand. Alright, and do this side just a little bit more because it come off whenever I was touching it and stuff. Is it ready? Well, these are ready to go, I think. Are they?
Yeah, it look like it.
Can you close the seasonings up and put them away? One of them seasonings must have a little spice in it. I know that does. They were right there, right beside the Lowry's. The seasoned salt. Alright, so these are ready. He's gonna put them on the grill. And I guess I'll take the camera out there whenever you do it.
Wash your hands.
Alright, well, you need to... Can you turn that off? Okay, so what we have is an older pit boss. It's a smoker and does all kind of other things. What temperature you got it on? 215?
Well, that ain't
Oh, that's not working right?
About 150 right there.
Alright, about 150 is what it's on. And he's just going to put them on the rack for now to let them smoke. How long do you smoke them for?
We're gonna go 4 hours like this.
And every hour you'll spray them with the apple cider vinegar. I can't reach it, I'm too short. Okay, got it. Alright. Every hour he will spray it with the apple cider vinegar, apple juice mixture. It's 1-to-1. You mix it even amounts. Isn't it every hour?
Yeah, something about like
I don't want to tell a lie. Anyway, so he'll do that. I'll probably take you out there for him to spray it one time, but I won't do it every time. And now I'm just gonna clean up where I seasoned the counter, and then I'm gonna do the ground beef. Okay, so they've been on for an hour. Do I need to move? Oh, okay. They've been on for an hour, and he's about to spray them for the first time. He has the apple juice and apple cider vinegar mix. It's recording. I wouldn't be talking if it wasn't recording. And he just sprays it. That's all he does. He just sprays it.
moisten it up.
Yeah. Tries to get all the sides that he can. But he doesn't ever flip it while it's on here, right? He just leaves it just like it is.
See, it always starting to pull apart. So.
Yeah, it's already cooking, smoking, getting yummy. And I should have looked at that whenever we first opened it, but it's about 215 or so. That's what temperature it's on. And that's it. So he does that every hour up until the point where he wraps it up and all that stuff, which we'll show you that. And I think I had said that he does it until it gets a certain temperature. The certain temperature is at the end, not the smoking point, but the actual finishing the cooking part. So when do you know when to wrap it?
It all depends how much smoke you want. Because you just smoke it for 4.
Okay, he smokes it for 4 hours. It's just according to how much smoke you want. I guess you can smoke it for longer. Alright, so there's that, and I'll show you the rest of it whenever we get to that point. But every hour, he sprays it. Okay, so we're starting to do the ground beef, putting it away. And one thing that I really like to have in the freezer is a meatloaf for times whenever we just want a meatloaf, but we don't have any fresh ground beef, or we don't want to have to thaw it out, or whatever like that. I think myself that if you put a meatloaf together and cook it either from frozen or straight from fresh, it's better than if you take ground beef out of the freezer and then thaw it, and then it just seems to hold together better, to me anyway. Now I don't know if everybody's like that or not, but it just seems to. So I have one of the packs of ground beef here. How many pounds was it?
2.3.
2.3 pounds. And this will be enough meatloaf to feed us, and Jeff and Noah eat a pretty big chunk of it, and have Jeff some for work the next day. So I cracked my egg into a bowl, and the reason why I do that is in case I get eggshells or there's a bad egg. In fact, the other day, like 2 weeks ago or something, one of the eggs I cracked, it had no, it was dry on the inside, and I would have been grossed out if I would have been putting it straight into that. And I think I was making meatloaf that day too. Was I making meatloaf that day, Jeff? I don't remember. Anyway, I'm putting the egg in there and I'm gonna wash my hands. I should have waited till last to do that, and then I could have not even worried about washing my hands. But next I'm gonna put in some seasoning, and I'm gonna use a spoon, not to measure, but just because my hands are a little bit wet, and I'm putting salt and stuff in there. So you season it however you want, whatever way you would normally do a meatloaf. You can start putting things away if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. What now?
I don't know what to do with.
Whatever I put over here. Alright, and we like a lot of pepper, so I put a pretty good bit of that. And then the other things will just be sprinkled in. Put whatever, do your meatloaf however you would normally make it. That's what you're doing. Up to the point where you're going to cook it. And then you stop. I have seen some people go ahead and cook theirs and put it in the freezer. But I find that if you wait to cook it, you just freeze it from in the raw state, that it's moist, has more moisture. This is French onion, the Kinder's French onion. I'm gonna put that in there, just some. I've just started putting that in there. This is the caramelized onion butter. I don't think I have any more of this, but I'm not sure. I might have some more up there, but I have the buttery steakhouse. That caramelized onion butter tastes a lot like the buttery steakhouse. And this one is the smoked chili sea salt. It's mostly the chilies more than salt, and that's what I want in there, is the smoked chilies. I don't know why I started putting that in there, but I just started doing that recently, and I really like it. For some reason I have been liking having some sort of spicy, some kind of red pepper or something like that in my stuff. I don't know why, but that's what I've been doing lately. Now, I use crackers sometimes. I have used like the little Captain's wafers. I've used Ritz crackers. This is just saltines, just wheat saltines. I have used bread, light bread. That's what Mama always used. But whatever you want to use, I guess it's like a stabilizer or something. And then onion. Lots of onion, and maybe not a big enough bowl. This is a whole onion, but it was a small onion. And then I'm just going to mix this together, and I'm going to put it in a, you all right over there? Then I'm going to put it in a gallon Ziploc bag, and it'll be ready whenever we want to have a meatloaf. To just put it in the oven. You don't even have to thaw it. You just put it in the oven. You have to cook it a little bit longer if it's frozen, but that doesn't matter to us. We don't mind that. But I find that if I have it in there, I'm more likely to make it. And Jeff and Noah really like meatloaf. I really didn't like it much. I mean, I would eat it. It was okay, but it wasn't a preferred meal. But lately, I've been liking it more. But maybe it's because I've been putting more seasonings in there and stuff. Some people put like Worcestershire and stuff like that in there too, and I have thought about doing that, but I just haven't. Jeff, can you come open the bag for me? And then whenever I cook this, I put ketchup over it once it's done. I don't want to do it before then. And the last time we cooked the meatloaf, I did it in my slow cooker, and it was really good that way. and I did like baked potatoes with it in the same slow cooker. I used my casserole style slow cooker. It's flat and wide. What?
I think so. I don't think that ball gonna go through the end of this.
No, I have to get it shaped some. I have to shape it for the whatever I'm going to use it. And I also put more. I lost an onion. We can't lose onion. I gotta clean the counter up anyways. Yeah, I had cleaned the counter. But anyway, I put black pepper over it before I cook it too. But I don't do that until like time to cook it. Usually if it's down in that bottom part. Alright, now I gotta wash my hands and I'll finish it. Or you won't finish it. You grunted, but you didn't talk.
I grunted, but I didn't talk.
Yeah, you didn't answer my question.
Oh, what?
I asked if you wanted to finish it.
Well, I'm trying to roll it around, make a ball or a roll.
Well, it needs to be a little bit flattened. A little bit.
I'll let you finish it up.
Because if it's too tall, it won't fit in the thing very well.
I'm trying to get it situated in the bag then.
I should have worn gloves. This would have been easier for filming. Okay. Alright, so that is one meal. Yes, the way it was. That's one meal. Well, it's actually technically more than one meal, but that's one thing you can make out of the ground beef and have it prepped ahead. So, there's that. Now I'm going to clean up. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do, I've done for years, but over the last couple of years, sometimes we get a little bit lazy and I just buy the pre-made burgers from Sam's. Well, whenever we looked at those this time, they were, what was it, $5 and something, almost $6 a pound? Mm-hmm. So we said, no, we're not doing that. And I know they're supposed to be, you know, Angus beef and all this stuff, but we're just not paying $6 a pound for a burger. I'm just not going to do it. So I decided to go ahead and just make them myself and put them in the freezer. Now, I did think about doing like flash freezing so I could just throw a bunch into a bag, but I'm just going to do it the same way I've always done it and just make them up. But this is ground beef. It's not ground chuck. And I don't remember what's the ratio. Do you remember? It doesn't say. Bring it back over here, please. You sure?
Unless it's in that little bitty right.
It may be in. You don't have
it. 75-25.
75-25. Okay, which does make for a tastier burger, but it does cook away some. So we're gonna make them kind of big, is what my point was. And the 75-25 is stickier, and I also put gloves on so it'd be easier with filming and stuff. I don't wear gloves when I'm regularly cooking, unless I'm having like an eczema breakout or something. Which you guys have been around for a while, you know I have eczema. But I probably make, I don't know how many out of this. We'll find out. But that's pretty big. And how much did you say this weighed? This pack, 2 pounds? 2.4. So say 2 pounds, may as well say. So these are probably a little bit bigger than a quarter pound. They're definitely going to be bigger than a quarter pound, because it would have been 8 if it was a quarter pound. But like I said, whenever they are that much fat content, they're going to cook down a lot more. But I do 4 in a bag. I used to do 4 in a bag because there was 4 of us, because Selena was home. But sometimes I would do 5 if I was going to have, you know, for Jeff to have for work. But we do 4 in a bag so that Jeff can have 1 for work. But this is the way they end up. And I'm going to just do, how many packs do you think we should do? 1 more pack? Alright, so I'm going to do 2 of the packs of ground beef, And I'll let you know how many burgers we end up with whenever it's all done. But there's no sense in me just sitting here patting out burgers the whole time, and that'd be boring for y'all. Alright, so I'll get Jeff to turn off the camera because my hands are messy. But there's what, 6? Yeah, 6. So it's a little bit more than a quarter of a pound each one. Okay, so we ended up with 13 burgers. There's 4 in 2 of the bags and 5 in the 1 bag. So that's 13 burgers out of 4 pounds. Was it 4 pounds of meat? No, it was more than that. Was it? No, it was about 4 pounds. Am I right or wrong? It was about 2 pounds each. You would have used 2. Correct?
They're close to 5.
Oh, it was close to 5 pounds. Okay. And they are pretty big burgers, but we can also take them out and use them for hamburger steaks. They're pretty big burgers, but they are the more fatty type of beef. But, you know. Anyways, we're going to put them in the freezer and go on to the next thing. Okay, so with the last pack, we're just going to make meatballs. It's just hamburger meat. Nothing else. Or ground beef. Nothing else to it. They're about golf ball size, maybe a little bit smaller. We're just going to make those and put them in here. These are not for, like, whenever I do pasta and stuff like that. These are for whenever I make meatballs, taters, and onions is what I call it. I do have a video where I cook that on here. It's something that my mama has made since I was a child, and I think all of my sisters make it still. I know that 2 of them do. But I did change it up because I put carrots in it, and nobody else does that I know of. But it's just meatballs like this. Cubed potatoes, onion, salt, and pepper, and with mine, carrots. Now, he's going to go ahead and put as much as he can into this bag, just so we don't have to use multiple bags. But we're just going to take out however many meatballs we want at a time to cook them. We're not going to put every single meatball that's in this gallon-sized bag into the meatballs, taters, and onions. So, he's going to keep doing this, and we'll come back whenever it's done, and I'll show you the bag and tell you if I needed another bag or whatever. Okay, so he's got this finished, and I'm going to go ahead and close it up while he washes his hands. And this is enough for us to have that meal twice. So what I'll do whenever I want to make it, I'll just take half of them out. But if I kind of separate it now like that, and I keep it that way, whenever they're put into the refrigerator, in the freezer, they'll be kind of separated. I could even do like this. Oh, there's still air in there. I didn't get all the air out. I could do like that and have it folded for whenever we want to do them, and that way I can have 2 meals from this one bag of the meatballs, potatoes, and onions. Okay, so Jeff has gone ahead and cut up the cantaloupe and got it ready. And if it's as good as, did you taste it? Was it as good as the last one? Okay, he said it seems like it's good as the last one. So this won't last long at all. But I'm going to stick it back in the refrigerator because he had it in there. It was actually cold before he ever cut it up. But there's that ready, and that won't last long at all. Okay, so we've taken the Boston butts off the grill. Well, it's a smoker, but anyways. One of them is in the oven right this minute while we wrap this one. And they're done smoking. Now we have to cook them till they get to the right temperature, correct? Mm-hmm. What are you doing with that? You don't know? He's holding a spatula like a crazy man. I don't know what he's holding it for. Alright, so we're just going to wrap it around the top, right? One layer. Well, this is the heavy duty kind. Oh, it got a hole in it from the... Should we wrap it again? Huh?
Yeah, put another layer on.
Because I couldn't hear you. You gotta talk loud enough I can hear you whenever I'm doing something like this. What caused the hole there?
The bone sticking up. Oh,
It might be the bone sticking up. I don't know. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and put this one back on the grill. At what temperature?
350.
At 350. And it's got to get to what temperature?
209.
209 is what he said the temperature has to get to. But he's going to go ahead and put that one on while I'm wrapping this one up. And they do look dry on top. I mean, there's some juices coming out. They do look dry because of the dry rub, but that will not stay that way. There's going to be lots of juices in this before it's done and over with. But I'm going to get this one wrapped up. And if we don't need both of the, like if we don't need to double wrap it, we won't. This one didn't get a hole in it. It must have been the bone sticking out of the other one. Alright, so now he's going to take this one and put it on until it gets done. And let me get this up here. Once they're done, I'll show you them. But we don't do anything now except just let them get to temperature because they're smoked fully and or as much as we want them to be. And then, you know, the rest of it is just making sure they're cooked all the way through, done, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what we're going to have for sides. Probably baked beans, and I don't know what else. So, we're going to just show you that whenever it's done. Okay, so this is one of them. The other one's still on there. It was a little bit bigger, so it's not quite done. But this is the first one he took off. And as you can see, it is cooked so much the bone is pulling away from it. You just pull that out, which I'm not going to try to do it because I might need my other hand and I'm holding a camera. Anyway, you can see there's a bunch of juices in there and it's not dry like it was, but I'm going to close this back up. But I think he's fixing to get the other one off. I'll be right back. Okay, so he just took the other one off. Had to go open the door, let him in. But what we're going to do is tonight we'll have our dinner with that. We got baked beans, these got on the grill, and then we're just going to eat some of the like carrots and whatever, just fresh vegetables or something. And that's going to be our dinner, maybe some bread or something, like just loaf bread or whatever, sandwich bread, whatever you want to call it. So after that cools off, we're just going to put it into quart-sized bags and put it in the freezer. So I'm not going to be able to show you that part because it's going to have to cool off and it's going to take a long time, and I want to have this video finished, so I won't show you that part. But that's how we do it, which I do believe I've shared where we did a Boston butt and put it away before. But it's super simple. Then whenever we want to eat some of that, we just take it out, let it thaw out, because I always make the menu plan, and we'll heat it up, and we'll have it for dinner or whatever, like barbecue sandwiches or whatever we want. And if I'm using it for the dishwasher just came back, or it's on, but it's doing one of its things. If I'm using it for the smokehouse stew, I just put it in frozen, because the vegetables that you put in for the smokehouse stew are frozen, so you just put it in the bottom. It's really good to have something like that. And I know some people can't have pork, some people are allergic to it, but you could do the same thing with beef if you wanted to. You could smoke chicken. Of course, it'd take a lot less time, like doing chicken breast or a whole entire chicken, but it would take less time for chicken and stuff like that. But you could smoke lots of different things. Go ahead and have it ready to eat and put it away in the freezer and have multiple meals out of it. So that's all I have for today. I think that we did all the things that we wanted to do. If we didn't, or everything I said I was going to do, if we didn't, I'm sorry. we might have forgot something, but I don't think we did. But I will see you next time. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I do appreciate it. And if you don't mind, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing, because I really do want to know. If you have a prayer request, you can leave that down below as well. Like, share, and subscribe. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.